Do you remember waking up in your 20s, or even your 40s? That first signal of the day, that undeniable sign that told you everything was working just as it should. It was a simple, powerful confirmation of your strength, your health, and your readiness to face the world. If that signal has faded or disappeared altogether, I want you to know you are not alone, and what its absence means is far more important than you might think. It's not just about a fleeting moment in the morning, it's a silent message from your body about your core vitality, your energy, and the very essence of your masculine power. Stay with me, because today we are not just talking about an erection, we are talking about reclaiming the life force that defines you, reigniting a fundamental spark that you may have thought was lost to time. I'm Dr. Megan Fisher, a specialist in healthy aging, and for over 2 decades, I've worked with incredible men just like you. I've seen firsthand how the silence surrounding this deeply personal issue can erode the confidence and dignity of even the strongest men. Today, we break that silence together. My mission is to give you the clarity and the tools to take back control of your biology. I want to build a community right here, a movement of men who refuse to accept decline as inevitable. To start, do me a favor and let me know which city you're watching from in the comments below. It's powerful to see how far this conversation is reaching. And while you're there, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. You are now part of a brotherhood committed to rewriting the rules of aging. That quiet absence in the morning is not just a sign of getting older. It's your body's check engine light flashing on the dashboard. Ignoring it is like ignoring the first subtle rattles of a failing engine. It's the first domino to fall in a chain reaction that affects far more than your life in the bedroom. This isn't about performance pressure or satisfying a partner, it's about you. It's about the quiet hit to your confidence that starts your day, the subtle feeling of being less than the man you once were. This signal is a direct reflection of your internal health, your hormonal balance, and the state of your cardiovascular system. When it vanishes, it's a profound warning that the very systems that fuel your energy, your mood, and your sense of self are running low on power. The consequences of ignoring this warning can ripple through every aspect of your life. What begins as a private frustration can grow into a wall of silence between you and your partner, fostering a deep sense of isolation and shame. Beyond the emotional toll, this is a critical indicator of your physical health. Studies from top institutions like Harvard have shown a direct link between erectile dysfunction and a significantly higher risk of serious cardiovascular events. Your erections are a barometer for the health of your arteries. When they falter, it's often the earliest sign that your entire vascular system is in jeopardy. This isn't a sentence, but it is a serious call to action. It's your body asking for help, and today, we are going to answer that call. Let me tell you about a man I'll call David. At 68, he found himself in a world he no longer recognized. His wife of 40 years had passed 3 years prior, and the silence in his home had become a deafening roar. Encouraged by his children, he tentatively decided to explore the world of dating, creating a profile online with a photo that was 10 years too old. But with every message he received, a cold wave of panic washed over him. It wasn't the thought of conversation or dinner that terrified him. It was the possibility of intimacy. It was the crushing fear that he would be unable to be the man he once was, the man he still felt he was supposed to be. That quiet bedroom, he feared, would expose a vulnerability he couldn't bear to face with a stranger. Every morning, David would wake up and the first thing he did was check. He'd lie still, waiting for a signal that never came. And with each passing day, that absence felt less like a symptom and more like a final verdict on his manhood. It was a silent, daily confirmation of his deepest fear. I'm washed up. I'm finished. This wasn't just about sex. It was about a fundamental part of his identity. He had been a husband, a partner, a virile man. Now, he felt like a hollow echo of that person. The lack of this one biological function had somehow managed to call into question his entire worth, his entire history, and his entire future. It was a heavy burden to carry before his feet even hit the floor. For men like David, this experience is profoundly isolating. He looked at his friends who were still married, or those who seemed to be navigating their later years with ease, and he felt a chasm of difference. In his mind, his body was failing him in the most private and fundamental way, and this failure disqualified him from the life he wanted to live. It wasn't just about dating, it was about feeling whole again. That morning signal had been an unconscious anchor to his own vitality for decades, a simple, powerful message that he was healthy and capable. Its disappearance felt like the pillar of his masculinity had crumbled, leaving him adrift in a sea of self-doubt and quiet shame. A feeling he couldn't possibly share with anyone. He started avoiding social situations where he might meet someone. A friendly invitation to a community barbecue felt like a threat. This self-imposed isolation was a defense mechanism against potential failure. The anxiety was so powerful that it began to color his entire world, making everything seem a little grayer, a little less vibrant. He was no longer just a man who had lost his wife. He was a man who felt he had lost himself. This is the tragic power of this issue. It doesn't stay in the bedroom. It seeps under every door, into every conversation, and casts a long shadow over a man's confidence, making him feel invisible in a world that he once felt he commanded with his presence and strength. But what David, and so many men like him, need to understand is that this signal from his body is not a final judgment. It is not an indictment of his character or his worth. It is simply a piece of biological data. It is a message, a warning light on the dashboard, asking for attention. His body is not betraying him. It is communicating with him in the only language it knows. The anxiety he feels is real and valid, but it is rooted in a misunderstanding of the problem. The problem is not that he is washed up, but that specific systems in his body need support. By learning to interpret this signal correctly, he can shift from a place of fear to a place of empowered action. Now, consider another story, that of Robert, who is 72 and has been married to his wonderful wife, Sarah, for 45 years. Theirs is a love story built on decades of shared laughter, challenges, and deep companionship. But lately, a subtle distance has grown between them in the quiet of their shared bed. It's not a lack of love, it's a space carved out by his shame. Robert avoids her touch, not because he doesn't desire her, but because he is terrified of the expectation that touch might imply. He feels he is failing her, failing their history, and failing the man he promised he would always be for her. The silence in their bedroom has become a wall between their hearts. Robert watches his wife as she sleeps, and his heart aches with a mixture of love and profound inadequacy. He interprets every sigh, every rustle of the sheets, as a sign of her disappointment, even if she has never uttered a critical word. In his mind, he is no longer the man who could make her feel desired and cherished in that specific, physical way. This feeling of failure is eating him alive from the inside out. He has become irritable and withdrawn during the day, creating even more distance. He doesn't know how to start the conversation, because to admit the problem out loud feels like admitting he is no longer a complete man, a fear too great to verbalize even to the person he trusts most. This wall of silence is the most dangerous consequence of all. Intimacy is a language, and when one of its most powerful dialects is lost, the entire conversation can falter. Robert's avoidance creates a cycle of confusion and loneliness for both him and Sarah. She may feel unattractive, unwanted, or that he is pulling away emotionally, when in reality, he is trapped in his own internal prison of shame. The bedroom, once their sanctuary of connection, has transformed into a nightly stage for his anxiety. This is the true tragedy of ignoring the body's signals. It doesn't just affect one man's health. It can erode the very foundation of the most precious relationships in his life. This feeling of powerlessness is the emotional core of impotence. It's not merely a mechanical failure. It's the sense that you have lost control over a fundamental aspect of your own body. It's the feeling that a core part of your male identity has been stolen by time, leaving you powerless to get it back. For Robert, this manifests as a quiet desperation. He feels like a captain who can no longer steer his own ship, tossed about by the waves of aging. This loss of control is deeply unsettling, challenging his sense of competence and authority in his own life. It is this profound feeling of being powerless that we must first address before any real healing can begin. But just like with David, Robert's situation is not a hopeless sentence. The wall between him and his wife was built brick by brick with misunderstanding and silence, and it can be dismantled, piece by piece, with knowledge and action. His body is not his enemy. It is a complex and brilliant system that is responding to specific biological changes in hormones, changes in circulation, changes in chemistry. These are not mysterious forces. They are understandable, and more importantly, they are inevitable. By understanding the science behind what is happening, Robert can reclaim his power and begin the process of not just rebuilding his physical function, but rebuilding the bridge back to his wife. Let's pull back the curtain and look at the brilliant machine that is your body. During the night, while you are in the deepest stages of sleep, your body is hard at work. It's not just resting, it's running a complex series of diagnostic and maintenance programs designed to repair, regenerate, and prepare you for the day ahead. This is especially true for your hormonal and vascular systems. Think of your body as a sophisticated factory that operates on a 24-hour cycle, with the night shift being absolutely critical for producing the key components that define your masculine vitality. The morning signal we're discussing is simply the most obvious result of this nightly work being done correctly. The most important phase for this process is REM sleep, the stage of sleep where you dream. During this period, your brain is incredibly active, and it sends out a series of crucial commands. One of these commands is to trigger a cascade of hormonal and neurological events. It's a deliberate, automatic function, not a random occurrence. Your brain is essentially testing and exercising the entire system. It's a biological imperative designed to ensure that the delicate mechanics of arousal and erection are kept in perfect working order. This process is as natural and as necessary as breathing, and its absence tells us that something in this nightly maintenance routine has been disrupted. The primary chemical command issued during this time comes from testosterone. Your body's natural testosterone production peaks in the early morning hours, precisely during these final cycles of REM sleep. This surge of testosterone is the master signal, the green light that tells your entire system to begin the process. It acts on the brain and the nervous system, initiating the chain of events. A healthy peak in morning testosterone is the foundational requirement for this entire system to function. If your testosterone levels are chronically low, it's like trying to start a powerful engine with a weak, sputtering battery. The initial spark just isn't strong enough to get things going. Once testosterone gives the command, the brain releases a critical messenger molecule called nitric oxide. If testosterone is the general, then nitric oxide is the elite soldier sent to the front lines. Its specific mission is to travel to the smooth muscle cells that line the arteries of the penis and tell them to relax. This relaxation is the key. It opens the floodgates, allowing blood to rush in and engorge the erectile tissues. It's a beautiful and precise dance of chemistry and biology. Without sufficient nitric oxide, the message never gets delivered, the blood vessels remain constricted, and the entire process grinds to a halt, no matter how strong the initial signal from the brain was. This entire nightly process serves a vital purpose, perfectly illustrating the use it or lose it principle of biology. These nocturnal and morning erections are not just for show. They are a form of essential physical therapy for the tissues. The repeated stretching and infusion of oxygen-rich blood keeps the intricate network of blood vessels and sponge-like tissues healthy, flexible, and responsive. When this nightly workout stops happening, the tissues can slowly become less elastic and more fibrous, a condition known as fibrosis. Over time, this makes it physically more difficult to achieve a full and firm erection, even when you are fully aroused and stimulated. Now, let's zoom out from this specific mechanism and look at the bigger picture, because this is where the message becomes truly critical for your long-term health. The tiny, delicate blood vessels in the penis are some of the smallest in your entire body. Because of their size, they are often the very first to show signs of trouble when your overall cardiovascular system is compromised. Think of them as the canary in the coal mine for your heart health. If blood flow is being restricted there, it is an almost certain sign that larger, more critical arteries throughout your body, including those that supply your heart and brain, are also beginning to narrow and harden. This is not speculation. It is a well-established scientific fact, confirmed by numerous studies from world-renowned institutions, including Harvard Medical School. Researchers there have demonstrated a powerful and direct link between erectile dysfunction and a significantly increased risk of future cardiovascular events like heart attack and stroke. In many cases, the onset of erectile issues precedes a heart attack by 3 to 5 years. This is not a coincidence. It is a direct reflection of the same underlying disease process, atherosclerosis, or the hardening and clogging of the arteries. Your body is giving you a life-saving early warning. The root cause of this system-wide problem is often a condition called endothelial dysfunction. The endothelium is the delicate, single-cell thick inner lining of all your blood vessels. A healthy endothelium is smooth and flexible, and it is responsible for producing the nitric oxide that allows your arteries to relax and dilate. When the endothelium becomes damaged by factors like high blood pressure, high blood sugar, or inflammation, it loses its ability to produce enough nitric oxide. This makes your arteries stiff and narrow, restricting blood flow everywhere in your body, from your heart to your brain, and, most noticeably at first, to your penis. I want you to see this not as a source of fear, but as a source of incredible power. Your body has a built-in, highly accurate early warning system for potentially life-threatening conditions. Most men don't get such a clear signal. They find out they have heart disease only when they are in an emergency room. You are being given a chance, a clear and undeniable sign that it is time to take action to protect your heart, your brain, and your life. By addressing the root causes of why that morning signal has faded, you are not just working to improve your sex life, you are actively working to prevent a future health crisis and add vibrant, healthy years to your life. So, let's be clear, this journey we are on is about so much more than sex. It is about reclaiming your total health and vitality. Taking care of your erections is a direct and powerful way of taking care of your heart. When you commit to restoring this function, you are committing to a lifestyle that will lower your blood pressure, improve your cholesterol, balance your blood sugar, and dramatically reduce your risk of the diseases that rob men of their golden years. This is the most important reframe I can offer you today. See this challenge not as a sign of decline, but as the ultimate motivation to build the strongest, healthiest, and most vital version of yourself. So, where do we begin? We begin with the most fundamental principle of health. You are what you eat. To fix a complex machine, you must first provide it with the highest quality fuel and the correct raw materials. Your body cannot produce the hormones and chemical messengers it needs out of thin air. It needs a specific set of nutrients to run its intricate biological factories. We will call this first step of our solution the reactivation plan, and it starts on your plate. This isn't about restrictive dieting. It's about strategically adding in the powerful foods that will directly support the systems we've been discussing. Let's start with the fuel for nitric oxide production. Your body needs a steady supply of nitrates and nitrites, which it converts into this essential molecule. The best sources on the planet are dark, leafy greens like spinach, arugula, and Swiss chard, as well as beetroot. Adding a large salad to your daily routine, or starting your day with a beet-based juice, can dramatically increase your body's ability to produce the nitric oxide needed to relax your blood vessels. Similarly, garlic contains a compound called allicin, which has been shown to enhance nitric oxide synthase, the enzyme that produces it. These are simple, powerful additions that directly fuel your circulatory health. Another powerhouse for this system is an amino acid called L-citrulline. It is found in high concentrations in watermelon, but to get a therapeutic dose, it is often best taken as a supplement. Here's why it's so effective. Your body absorbs L-citrulline and then converts it in your kidneys into another amino acid, L-arginine, which is the direct precursor molecule for nitric oxide. Taking L-citrulline is like making sure the factory has a full supply of the most critical raw material it needs to operate at peak capacity. This is an evidence-based approach that has been shown in clinical studies to improve erection quality by directly boosting nitric oxide levels in the body. Next, we must provide the raw materials for your master male hormone, testosterone. Two of the most critical micronutrients for this process are zinc and vitamin D. Zinc is a foundational mineral for the male endocrine system. Without sufficient levels, your body simply cannot manufacture testosterone effectively. Unfortunately, many men are deficient. You can find zinc in foods like oysters, lean red meat, and pumpkin seeds, but supplementation can be a reliable way to ensure you're getting enough. Think of zinc as the master key that unlocks your body's ability to build the very hormone that drives your masculine vitality and desire. The other crucial component is vitamin D, which is technically not a vitamin but a potent steroid hormone. It is often called the sunshine hormone because our bodies produce it when our skin is exposed to sunlight. In our modern, indoor world, vitamin D deficiency has become an epidemic, and it has a direct and negative impact on testosterone levels. Making an effort to get 15 to 20 minutes of midday sun on your arms and legs a few times a week can make a significant difference. For many, especially in winter months, supplementing with vitamin D3 is essential for maintaining optimal hormonal balance and overall health. far beyond just your erections. Now that we have the right fuel, it's time for an engine tune-up. This means incorporating specific types of movement and exercise that send powerful hormonal signals throughout your body. Exercise is not just about burning calories or building biceps. It is one of the most effective ways to communicate directly with your endocrine system, telling it to produce more testosterone and growth hormone. The right kind of exercise acts like a powerful catalyst, amplifying all the benefits of the nutritional changes you're making. This is about working smarter, not just harder, to get the most significant biological response from your efforts. One of the most effective forms of exercise for boosting testosterone is high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. This involves short bursts of all-out effort, followed by brief recovery periods. You could do this by sprinting for 30 seconds and walking for 60 seconds, or by doing fast bodyweight squats or push-ups. This type of intense, short-duration stress signals to your body that it needs to be strong and resilient, which in turn triggers a significant release of anabolic hormones, like testosterone. The best part is that a HIIT workout can be completed in just 15 to 20 minutes and can be adapted to any fitness level. Alongside intense exercise, we must not forget the power of resistance training. Lifting heavy things, whether it's weights at a gym, resistance bands, or your own body weight's a primal signal to your body to build and maintain muscle mass. The process of building muscle is intrinsically linked to testosterone. The act of training itself provides a temporary boost, and having more muscle mass on your frame helps to improve your overall hormonal profile and insulin sensitivity in the long run. Committing to 2 or 3 strength training sessions per week is a non-negotiable part of reclaiming your physical power and hormonal health. There is also a more targeted form of exercise we must discuss: pelvic floor exercises, commonly known as Kegels. These are not just for women. Your pelvic floor is a sling of muscles that supports your pelvic organs and plays a critical role in both urinary control and erectile function. Specifically, these muscles help to compress the veins that drain blood from the penis. By strengthening them, you improve your ability to trap blood and maintain a firm erection. It's like strengthening the dam to prevent the water from escaping. These exercises are discreet and can be done anywhere, at any time. The key to all of this is consistency. This is not about a temporary fix or a 30-day challenge. This is about building a new set of non-negotiable daily habits. A short workout is not something you do when you feel like it. It becomes a part of your day, just like brushing your teeth. These consistent actions, day after day, are what slowly but surely rewire your biology. They send a constant message to your body that you demand strength, you demand vitality, and you demand health. Over time, your body has no choice but to listen and adapt, rebuilding the systems that have been neglected. Next, we must become masters of our body's internal clock, known as the circadian rhythm. This 24-hour cycle governs nearly every process in your body, from your sleep-wake cycle to your hormone production. Your testosterone levels, for instance, are not random. They follow a distinct circadian pattern, peaking in the morning and declining throughout the day. By aligning your daily habits with this natural rhythm, you can powerfully optimize your hormonal health. This is a free and incredibly effective strategy that most people completely overlook in their quest for better health. The most powerful signal you can send to set your internal clock each day is morning sunlight. Within the first hour of waking, step outside and get 10 to 15 minutes of direct sunlight in your eyes, without sunglasses. This light exposure hits specialized receptors in your retina that send a signal directly to the master clock in your brain. This one simple act shuts down the production of the sleep hormone melatonin and triggers the healthy release of cortisol, which then sets the stage for optimal testosterone production throughout the day. It is the natural on switch for your body's daytime operating system. Conversely, mastering darkness at night is just as critical. In our modern world, we are bathed in artificial blue light from screens, phones, and overhead lighting long after the sun has set. This light tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime, which suppresses the production of melatonin. Melatonin is not just a sleep hormone. It is a powerful antioxidant and a key regulator of your entire endocrine system. To protect its production, make your bedroom a sanctuary of darkness. Use blackout curtains, cover all electronic lights, and avoid screens for at least an hour before you plan to sleep. This meticulous management of light and dark directly translates into higher quality sleep. And as we've established, deep, restorative sleep particularly the REM stages, is precisely when your body performs the nightly maintenance that produces nocturnal and morning erections. By honoring your circadian rhythm, you are not just improving your sleep, you are creating the ideal biological environment for that critical repair and regeneration process to occur. You are ensuring that the night shift in your body's factory has the perfect conditions to do its most important work, uninhibited and on schedule. Ultimately, mastering your body's clock is about reclaiming a piece of your ancestral biology that has been lost in the modern world. These are not complicated biohacks, they are simple, foundational principles of human health. You are aligning your life with the rhythms of nature that have governed our biology for millennia. This is about taking back control, not by adding more complexity, but by returning to a powerful simplicity. You are creating a lifestyle that supports your hormones from the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep, providing a stable and robust foundation for your renewed vitality. Finally, we must address the most important piece of this puzzle: the mind. All the physical changes in the world will have a limited effect if the mental and emotional pathways of desire have been shut down by years of anxiety and fear. Sexuality does not begin in the body, it begins in the brain. The physical mechanics are simply the expression of what is happening in your mind and in your heart. We must consciously work to reignite the spark of desire and rebuild the neural pathways associated with intimacy and pleasure. This process begins by reactivating your brain's reward system, which is governed by the neurotransmitter dopamine. Dopamine is the molecule of motivation and desire. When you anticipate or experience something pleasurable, your brain releases dopamine, which makes you want to seek out that experience again. Years of performance anxiety and fear of failure can short-circuit this system, causing your brain to associate intimacy with stress rather than pleasure. Our goal is to gently and deliberately retrain your brain to once again see intimacy as a source of joy, connection, and deep satisfaction. The most effective way to do this is to take the pressure of intercourse completely off the table for a while. The goal is to reintroduce physical touch and emotional intimacy without any expectation of a specific outcome. This could mean simply holding hands, giving your partner a massage, taking a shower together, or spending time talking and sharing vulnerabilities. The objective is to flood your system with the positive feelings of connection and non-sexual touch, rebuilding the association between your partner and feelings of safety, pleasure, and emotional closeness. This rebuilds the foundation upon which sexual desire is built. By combining these four pillars: the right fuel, the engine tune-up, mastering your clock, and reigniting the spark, you create a holistic and synergistic plan for transformation. The nutritional changes provide the raw materials. The exercise forges a strong, hormonally balanced body. The circadian alignment ensures your systems are running on schedule. And the mental work reopens the pathways of desire. Each pillar supports and amplifies the others, creating a powerful upward spiral of health that rebuilds not just an erection, but the entire foundation of a man's confidence, his energy, and his profound sense of being vibrantly alive. Your worth as a man was never, and will never be, tied to a single biological function, but your sense of vitality, of feeling fully and powerfully alive in your own skin, is deeply connected to your overall health. Reclaiming that morning signal isn't about a nostalgic quest to be 20 again. It is about becoming the strongest, wisest, and most vibrant version of the man you are right now. Whether you are 65, 75, or 85, it is about waking up each day with a quiet, confident knowledge that your body is a capable and willing partner in the life you want to live. This journey is about reclaiming your dignity, your commanding presence in the world, and the profound, unspoken connection you share with your partner. It is about choosing to live fully, not just to exist. Remember, every step you take on this path does more than just address this one intimate concern. When you choose foods that fuel nitric oxide, you are actively protecting your heart. When you engage in exercise that boosts testosterone, you are building a resilient body that will carry you with strength for decades to come. You are not just fixing a symptom, you are fundamentally upgrading your entire operating system for a longer, healthier, and more energetic future. This is about having the stamina to play with your grandchildren, the clarity of mind to pursue new passions, and the confidence to know that you are in the driver's seat of your own health, steering yourself away from disease and toward a life of true, uncompromised vitality. Sexuality after 65 is not a frivolous luxury. It is an essential, beautiful, and healthy component of your life, your identity, and your longevity. The confidence that comes from knowing your body is healthy and responsive can tear down the walls of silence that may have grown between you and your partner. It transforms the bedroom from a place of anxiety back into a sanctuary of connection, laughter, and shared intimacy. This journey is as much about rebuilding that sacred emotional bridge as it is about rebuilding your physical function. It's about reclaiming the joy of touch and the deep, human need to feel desired and to desire in return, strengthening the most important relationship in your life. This is your call to action. You have the knowledge, you have the roadmap, and you now understand that you have the power to influence your own biology. If you are ready to take back control of your health and reclaim the man you know you are, I want you to type vitality in the comments below. Let's create a wave of commitment. You are not on this journey alone. Subscribe to this channel and share this video with a friend, a brother, or any man who needs to hear that his best years are not behind him. Together, we are building a community of men who are refusing to accept decline as their destiny. The work starts today. Your new chapter starts now.